Millions in capital project fund allocations approved for Delaware and Idaho. North Dakota ranks number 1 for gigabit accessibility. A regional tech hub competition gets underway, and time to expand your broadband glossary yet again. Those stories and more on This Week in the Broadband Universe. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Craig Corbin. Capital Project Fund allocations for Delaware and Idaho have been approved by the U.S. Treasury. The announcement coming early this week that $65.9 million will go to Delaware, $120 million to Idaho. Total budget for the CPF, $10 billion, with funding to each state that can be used for a wide variety of infrastructure projects, including broadband. Delaware choosing to use only 58% of its allocation for broadband, while Idaho has earmarked 93% for their broadband infrastructure grant program, which should extend service to more than 35,000 locations across that state. On a related note, the Treasury has reported that roughly $12 billion in broadband funding has been awarded or budgeted to date by way of the American Rescue Plan Act. ARPA, of course, including both the Capital Projects Fund along with the state and local Fiscal Recovery Fund. Examples of SLFRF projects include $51 million for a statewide middle-mile fiber network in Alabama, $10 million for development of remote work, distance learning, and telehealth in American Samoa, and $15 million for broadband infrastructure in Carroll County, Maryland. When it comes to ranking the best connected states with the best access to gigabit broadband, North Dakota is number 1. According to a study by smarthomestarter.com, gigabit speed internet is available to 60.58% of residential locations in the state. Minnesota ranks second, 60.41%, with Tennessee rounding out the top 3. It's time to expand your broadband glossary. There's yet another new passive optical network, or PON, spec standard, Coherent PON. Cable Labs has issued the architecture specification for CPON, which is expected to deliver up to 100 gigabits per second peak capacity, far exceeding any of today's PON standards. Don't get too excited, however. Equipment to support the standard won't be available for about 5 more years. CPON will use coherent optic technology currently found primarily in point-to-point long-haul applications as well as between data centers. CPON will be a point-to-multipoint offering. Currently 17 vendors and 14 service providers participating in the CPON working group. Big news this week with the launch of the Regional Technology and Innovation Hubs competition, that from the U.S. Department of Commerce's Economic Development Administration. The program will create tech hubs in regions across the country by bringing together industry, institutions of higher education, state and local governments, economic development organizations, along with labor and workforce partners. The goal? Supercharging ecosystems of innovation for technology. Applications for planning grants and tech hub designations were opened this week with the first notice of funding opportunity. Google Fiber has signed an agreement for fiber broadband network deployment with the city of Logan, Utah. Construction slated to begin this year, service at some point in 2024. YouTube TV, now the 5th largest U.S. pay TV operator. A report this week by LRG showing approximately 5.7 million subscribers, 100,000 customers added during Q1. YouTube TV, the only major TV platform to grow during that period. And as if right on cue, WOW! Internet, Cable, and Phone has just signed a deal to offer YouTube TV as its dedicated live television offering. WOW! Will maintain and support current video services during the transition. Just another example of broadband providers moving away from traditional video delivery. First quarter losses of video subscribers from the 2 largest U.S. cable companies, Comcast and Charter, worse than projections, significantly higher than a year ago. That from S&P Global Ratings, the study showing a decline in legacy pay TV subscribers of more than 12%. Comcast reported losing 624,000 subs in Q1, Charter losing 815,000 subscribers. A huge domino in the cord-cutting trend, ESPN now laying the foundation for selling the sports TV channel directly as a streaming service. a move that would have massive implications for cable TV providers. The project has an internal code name of Flagship. No timeline has been announced. And finally, the pickleball craze coming to Prime Video, with 4 Professional Pickleball Association events live streamed. The multi-year deal signed this week. First up, the Acrotech Atlanta Open that's happening this weekend. The Vulcan Kansas City Open will be held August 24th through the 27th. The Guaranteed Rate Championships in Las Vegas the first week in October, followed by the 2023-24 PPA World Championship Series from Boca Raton. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on This Week in the Broadband Universe.